Hello everyone. So in this video we will learn about the second law of Newton. A ball develops a certain amount of acceleration after being hit. The acceleration with which the ball moves is directly proportional to the force applied to it. This means that the harder you hit the ball, the faster will move, thereby demonstrating Newton's second law of motion in daily life. So here we have some queries and questions about the Newton's second law. What is Newton's second law? Give an example. According to the definition of Newton's second law of motion, force is the dot product of mass and acceleration. You can see in the diagram, you can understand this. The force is a car crash is dependent either on the mass or the acceleration of the car. As an acceleration or mass of the car increases, the force with which a car crash takes place will also increase. Second, what is Newton's second law explained? Newton's second law states that the acceleration of an object is directly related to the net force and inversely related to its mass. Acceleration of an object depending on two things, force and mass. This show that flowing experience has a much greater force, but because of big mass, it resists acceleration more. Then, what is an example of second law? One notable example of the second law through thermodynamics is the heat engine model. Heat engines involve a cycle of increasing and decreasing temperatures that move a person. The second law of thermodynamics dictates the amount of work that the changing temperature in the heat engine can produce. So, uh, what is an example? What is second law of motion in class ninth? The second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of the body is directly proportional to the net external force applied, and this change the momentum is in the direction of force applied. Why Newton's second law is real law? Let dp is equal to a dt be the resulting change in the momentum of a. This is nothing but third law of motion. Hence, the third law of motion is contained in second law as first, and the third law of motion contained in second law. Thus, we can say that Newton's second law is the real law of motion. What are the no? What is Newton's second law? Quick check. Answer is Newton's second law states the acceleration of an object as produced by the net force is directly proportional to the magnitude of the net force is the same direction as the net force is inversely proportional to the mass of the object. I repeat the answer. The acceleration of an object as produced by the net force is directly proportional to the magnitude of the net force in the same direction as the net force is inversely proportional to the mass of the object. How was Newton's second law discovered? He established his second law by deducing it from the principle of relativity, Hooke's inverse square gravitational observations, and Kepler's third law of the finding of other less known thinker. Then we will discuss about what is second law called. According to the Newton's second law of motion, also known as the law of force acceleration, a force upon an object cause it is accelerate according to the formula net force mass x acceleration. So the acceleration of the object is directly proportional to the force and inversely proportional to the mass. What is the state of second law? The second law of thermodynamics states that the total entropy can never decrease over the time of isolated system, that is a system in which neither energy nor matter can enter nor leave. So the video is ending here. We discussed today the second law of Newton.